Grief is turning to anger in Japan more than a year after the tsunami nuclear disaster at Fukushima. Japanese people feel they've been kept in the dark about the extent of the damage caused by the Fukushima meltdown and that they can no longer trust their government. CNN's Kyung La is in Tokyo. She joins us now with more on that. Kyung.
Well, Manita, the legacy of the Fukushima nuclear disaster isn't just going to be the massive cleanup. It's going to be how this government is going to get people to trust them again. Because if you talk to people here, they'll tell you a couple of things. They believe that the government was incompetent back then. It is incompetent now. That it will withhold information, or the government will simply flat out lie. What that has resulted in is a wide gap between the people and the government. So as the government is trying to, for example, try to incinerate debris that is from the Fukushima nuclear plant, trying to get communities to accept it, what they've been confronted with is massive protests. These are the types of protests that you never ever saw pre-Fukushima. People are enraged. Now, I spoke with a nuclear engineer, a man who was inside the Prime Minister's office, a special advisor to the Prime Minister, in those early days right after the triple meltdown at the Fukushima nuclear plant. And he says the government failed the people back then and is continuing to fail the people today.
To have people to trust government, the transparency is very important, reformation is very important, and the kind of message to people, the very sincere message to people is very important.
And right now that's not happening.
That not happen. So that's my understanding. So that's why people cannot trust government.
Now, there have been some changes on the governmental level as far as the nuclear regulatory agencies and also within the government itself. But Tasaka says that they have really been cosmetic changes, the equivalent, if you will, of putting lipstick on a pig, that there needs to be more fundamental change, he says, before this country can move beyond Fukushima. Manita?
Kim, what's interesting about Japan is that their political system, or their politicians, are really on a short leash when it comes to their electorate and the public. Because I mean, we're talking about a system, we're talking about a country that has seen what, 6 prime ministers in 5 years.
You have it exactly right. 6 prime ministers in 5 years. And there is this feeling, we don't like this guy, let's throw the bum out. And so there is this sentiment among the people that there is a stalemate among the politicians, that what the politicians are trying to do is simply hold on to their jobs. And the bureaucrats are trying to keep the structures in place so that the country can keep running. But the job of the people never gets done, that their issues are never addressed.
Kyung, thank you so much. Kyung La there reporting to us from Tokyo. You are watching World One live from London.